Hi everyone, I'm Riley.
And I'm Anthony, and this is Spilling the Real Tea.
Tea.
What's going on, guys? We're back. Episode 2, our first official guest.
Woo woo!
Yes.
What's going on?
We couldn't wait for this one. We got Anthony Robustiano here. TikTok sensation. What's that? 1.2, 1.3 mil now.
You can say the numbers one more
Okay,
time.
yeah. Some they're millions. They're millions, guys.
Which last time we were together, it was you just hit one, or I think you were
No,
just
I think it was
about
like
to hit
500 or 600. I don't think I was that. Right?
It was like 970,000.
I think we were
just
you were
botched
real
this
close.
beginning. Let's let it rip.
No, just keep going.
No,
just keep going.
I'm kidding. No, but we got Ant Robo here. Highly anticipated. He's also my best friend, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm nervous to what he's gonna say because we're trying to do this like young professional, the story, and I feel like he's gonna let it rip. If you've seen any of his content, he's a loose cannon.
You got the wrong one on. If that's
Yeah,
what you
he's a loose cannon. I'm pretty nervous about it. I mean, thank God for editing.
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna be laughing for sure.
We're gonna have a
I
good
hope
time.
so.
It's gonna
That's
be
why I'm
it's
here,
gonna be
man.
good.
That's why
Yeah,
I'm here.
bring a lot of energy. But Ant, good to have you on, bro.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be in a doctor's office. I don't know if you want to plug this.
Oh
where
yes.
we
This is the
are.
plug.
Oh my gosh, how could I forget? We are recording from the Williams Center across from Keeler, right? That's where
Yes,
we are.
Keeler
on
is
Troy
right across
Schenectady
the
Road.
street. Troy Schenectady
We're
Road.
very fortunate to be in this space today.
It's beautiful.
So thank you very much, Dr. Williams and everyone
Yeah, shout
at
out
the
to Dr.
Williams Center
Williams.
Yes.
for allowing us to use their conference room.
It's a beautiful space.
Beautiful space.
Beautiful space.
So, Anthony,
Yes.
can you tell us one of the questions I want to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
and we were going to do this a little bit later, but I think it could be a good kickoff now, is if you were on a date with a girl
Mm-hmm.
and she were to ask you, what is your job? What would you tell her?
Oh, that's pretty good. I would tell her that I own a business in Vermont.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that would just be the end of that.
That would be it.
How many
yeah.
girls do you lose with that?
All of them.
Yeah.
No, I just basically, I would say that I run a business with my parents in Vermont. The next question usually is, what is that business? And I just tell them that it's a general store, more of a cafe, where we do food and stuff like that.
And have the best, do you want to say what else you have there?
I mean, if we're going to plug it, I mean, it's the best breakfast sandwiches, best lunch sandwiches that you can get in the area, so.
And the best creamies.
Yeah,
Best creamies.
That was the best part.
Yeah.
The creamies.
Yeah.
The sandwiches. The
I
creamy
fucked that up.
sandwiches.
I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I am not plugging this business very
I mean,
well.
the name is the name's Robo's Creamies, and the guy brings up breakfast sandwiches.
Well, because
So-
right now that's what we're doing right now. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody's having ice cream in Vermont
That's-
in
that's
February,
true.
so
That's true.
yeah, I'm out of sight, out of mind.
For probably 99% of our viewers as well, a creamy is ice cream, but just Vermont chose that
Yes.
word for ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they went that route, but it I know it sounds strange, but it is ice cream.
Yeah, so their creamies are great over
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
It is great. Can you tell us a little bit about, Anthony said TikTok sensation. So I'm sure that you, like many people, it doesn't just happen overnight. I know there are people that kind of go into that with like, oh, I'm going to do this video and it's going to go viral. Can you kind of talk a little bit about maybe how long you've been doing this and what that looked like over time? Was it something like you started with TikTok or did you start with something before that? Kind of bring us through that.
Yeah, I mean, Ann will tell you, I've always been well. First off, I was always very shy, so I did everything kind of
So
behind
shocking to me.
behind the scenes.
Very,
yeah,
very shy.
Yeah, I was who I am, like behind closed doors or when I was with friends. But when social media came out, really was Vine. I want to say that was like 2012. I was in college, so when I hit college, I kind of broke out of my little shyness and. I was always just a goofy kid, and I wanted to make people laugh. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and Vine came out, and I just started doing like little videos. And I didn't get big off Vine. That's where I grew to love to create content and to make people laugh and to kind of get in that space of being like, I hate when people say I'm a creator, but basically being
yeah,
creative,
you are.
And so I use comedy as a creative tool, and I just always the fact of always going viral is not something that you anticipate, and if you do go into it hoping to get viral, I promise you won't.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it for the wrong reason. And when I got to a point where everything was like kind of flowing, is when things started to grow for me, and it took off. I think right after COVID is when things started to kind of get to that next level. But even everything's grown. So it was crazy when I hit 10,000 followers. It was even crazier when I hit 100,000. And the fact that, we're over 1 million now, at the time would have been
surreal.
Yeah, but now it's like, okay, what's next? So now I'm trying to parlay that into, which we'll probably get into, stand-up comedy, a thing I love to do, and how I can take comedy and put it into my business, and how the two can kind of coexist. So that's what I'm doing now.
Did you have a moment where you were like, this isn't just a hobby, like this is actually something I really want to do? Did you ever have like an aha moment, or get on a different platform and you're like, this is what I'm made for, and let's do this?
I don't know, man. I'm a big dreamer. Like, I've always been somebody that has always dreamed about being on a couch getting interviewed by Jimmy Fallon or like Jimmy Kimmel, or being
us,
or being on the podcast,
spilling the real tea.
Yeah.
Plug it. Yeah.
Or being on this podcast and answering questions like this. I have always just wanted to help people, and the way that I can do that, I feel, was just making people laugh. And when I would be with friends and I would tell stories, and I would watch the reaction of them when I would tell those stories, I felt like, not that I was special, but I felt like this is something I can do, as a career. And I've gotten some of the notoriety online has helped me know that I can probably expand it. And that's just who I am. Like, I'm always going to... it's even weird that I'm even saying this right now, because not that I don't feel like I belong in this position, but I have never really... I've always dreamed about it, but the fact that to be here, it's weird for me. So it's tough to talk about it. But I've always wanted to be somebody that could help somebody in any way I can. And like I said, the way that I know how to do that comes best and easily to me is creating content and making people laugh.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. To touch base on that a little bit, I know, like, when I come down to Robo's Creamies, you'll have like kids that traveled an hour or two away to come get ice cream and take a photo with you, because you're like a celebrity there.
It's wild.
And your mom always says you're like reserved because it's a surreal moment. Like, you're like, why are you coming to take a photo with me, right? Who am I? I'm behind a phone screen, right?
It's uncomfortable. I mean, I appreciate it. I think uncomfortable is... Well, I am uncomfortable because I have been, basically alone for, 3 decades, and the fact that somebody enjoys things that I say and is going out of their way to travel to come see me and take a picture, and that made their day is something that I will never take for granted, but it's a weird spot to be in, and I have to learn to get better at it. So I'll get there.
No, that's awesome. Definitely want to come back to the social media run, the new stand-up run, but tell us how Anthony Robustiano graduates high school in Albany, New York, to be an accountant, ends up running a store in Vermont, doing social media, and we'll get to, you doing your stand-up now. That's the next avenue.
Yeah, I mean, I basketball was the only thing. I grew up playing basketball. I know I look like I probably played soccer or something, but
Damn, bro.
Was that...
Sorry for you soccer listeners out there. There's nothing wrong with soccer, but
sorry.
I guess look at them, right? Look at them.
That's what I meant. Like, look at me, dude.
Yeah,
I don't look like I played basketball, but so that was like my own. That was like my only dream. So and when he knows me, like when I have my sights set on something, like I'm like a sicko. I will work and work and work, and that's all basketball was for me. I always did well in school, and numbers really came easy to me. So accounting wasn't something that I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to be an accountant. It was just something that dealt with numbers. And I went to school for it because they said you can make money, and that's all I really cared about. And when I was done with basketball, it was, okay, here's the real world. And accounting sucked. I'm going to be honest with you. It was not the right choice, but I stayed there for like 5 years. And there was nothing wrong with the firm that I worked at. They're great guys, but it just wasn't. It was like being in a relationship with someone that is not your person, but you're staying in it because it's comfortable, and that's what I did. But in that process, I was able to do more videos and learn, like, oh, actually, I get more energy when I think about and when I write and when I film stuff like this, as opposed to being miserable, being like, oh my God, I gotta finish these financial statements. So that's when I knew it wasn't really the right thing for me. So then the next move, I moved out to Cincinnati because I love being in the gym business, and that's what I did.
Yep.
And I loved what I did out there, and it just came to a point where an opportunity came across where I can help my parents be an owner and run a business, and that was also something that I wanted to do, and it allowed me to check that box. So that's where I am now, and that's essentially how I got from A to B. But the story's always being written. It's not a closed chapter. So who knows where it's going to lead me? The only thing that I can control is how I act every day, and every day for me is a new challenge, and that's how I try and look at things. Not like, hey, I want to be, if I'm not here in 5 years, or if I'm not here in 2 years, then I'm going to be miserable. It's like, today's a new day. Let's just get better. As corny as that sounds,
right.
Let's get better today, and then allow that to carry you to the next day. And that's how I'm choosing to look at things. I'm not saying it's the right way to look at things, but that's where I'm at.
Now, when you were in Cincinnati, just because I know your story a little bit, a little easier for me to piece it together.
Yeah.
What made you go from? I mean, you made very good money. You had a real career, like a high end career,
job.
A real job. You were making real money. I mean, you were doing very well for yourself, especially for the age you were at.
Yeah.
Future was bright. You were making content in the meantime. What made you say, like, this grind and I'm well off and all this stuff, to say I'm gonna pack up, go to Vermont. I'm gonna keep making content, and I'm gonna chase something for you?
I think for me it was I was tired of telling people like who I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, because the things that I was saying I wanted to do and who I wanted to be didn't match up with who I actually was. So I would tell people I'm gonna get on stage one day and I'm gonna sell out this crowd, and I'm gonna do this and make all this content, and I wasn't doing it.
Yep.
It was a repetitive cycle of getting up at the same time, working, and then coming home and making an excuse why I couldn't write, or I couldn't, produce any content, or I wasn't getting on stage. And I think I got to a point, ironically, it was right after your bachelor party, where, it's like that self-realization moment where it's like, what are we doing?
Right.
Like, you moved to Cincinnati to get away from the thing that you were doing, and now you're doing that same thing, but just in a different city.
Right.
So I'm the type of person that I need to be challenged. I need that next challenge. If I do the same thing over and over, I will go crazy. And you've been on the other side of those phone calls.
Sure have.
And it was the redundancy of how I was living my life that I got tired of it. So as scary as it was to say, okay, let's try our hand at owning a business with my parents.
Yep.
And moving to a place that I don't want to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soccer player like an Anthony Robustiano does not fit in Vermont.
Let's go to where they're wearing Carhartt and flannels and work boots, and I go up in ripped jeans and an outfit like this from H&M.
Polo button to the top. Yeah.
A shirt that I probably should have left in the closet. Thanks, Riley.
I think we were all thinking it. I just said it.
Okay.
Yeah. I was honestly, I was hoping you kept the jacket on for this. Yeah.
I did like the jacket. I like the jacket.
It's a good look. Yeah.
Can I get back to my
Yeah, you can.
Sorry. Yeah.
But no, I wanted to do something different, and then when that, and make no mistake, there were other things that happened personally to me that led me there, and it was just getting out of that self-pity, feel sorry for yourself attitude, and just trying to tackle this one thing, and then going from that one thing to where I am now.
You were in a hole and you had to work out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it wasn't. You're human. There were relationships that didn't necessarily go the way that I wanted to, whether it was a personal relationship or it was a working relationship. And instead of waiting for things to change, just make them change.
Yep.
And I heard something that it was like, do yourself a favor and disappear for 6 months, and cut yourself off from the things that you're used to, whether that's partying, whether that's going out, whether it's the people that you used to run with.
Yep.
And focus on you. And that is something that I got with Vermont, because there's literally nothing to do. There's probably 2 restaurants in the entire area. But it kind of forced me to kind of sit back and, like, dude, I go for walks now. Like that, I walk. Like, that's... I would never do that ever.
Right.
Like, dude, I like do like breathing exercises.
Yeah.
When I read, and I pray. I don't even know how to, but I'm trying. You
Right.
know, it's like getting into like these different spaces where you're okay with being alone. And I think once you can do that and you're like comfortable like in your own skin and you're confident in who you are being alone, I mean shit, that's a powerful tool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
You know, so that's as much as I hated being in Vermont, and I'll even tell you right now it's not where I want to be.
Yep.
It's allowed me to do those things and to kind of sit back and be like, okay, now I know who I am and what I want to do and I know what path I should take. Now it's only up to me
Right.
to kind of get there.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I don't, the only one to blame is myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's where I'm at mentally right now.
I think it's really easy to like now with it was like Facebook, then there's Instagram, now there's a million things. You have TikTok, everything. Like it's so easy. I feel like I meet people and they tell me they like this and then they like this and then a week later they're doing the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you even know who you are?
Yeah.
Because it's like ever changing based on your surroundings.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think what you're saying is like I love being alone. Like I like going home and reading a book or just putting on a podcast or sometimes just silence. And I think like in the silence, like that's really how you find out who you are.
Yeah.
Because
I call it me time.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. I love
Yeah.
me time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To do nothing or something or whatever, it doesn't matter. But like you need that time, and you get numb sometimes when you're constantly surrounding yourself around people or activities or things, and you're busy, where you just lose yourself, right? Or you lose your journey or vision, and you have that me time, and you can really like assess where you're at, or do absolutely nothing, but you need it, you know?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I love being around people. Like that's how I get energy is doing this and talking to people. But yeah, I've come to understand the importance of kind of being alone and not just being alone and being sad about it, but being alone and being productive about it.
Yep.
You know, when I'm alone is when I think of the silly things that I film. You know, and if it's something that I need to work out, I'll call you or I'll call someone and be like, hey, is this funny or am I crazy right now? Because I think I have something here. And a lot of the things that I do think about, they don't work or they're not funny. But if out of 10 things I think about, 2 of them are smashes, then that's really how my productive and creative process works. You know, but it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, but to tag along to what you're saying is, I think, especially nowadays, people want things instantaneous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want things to happen now, and they do not want... And that is a fault of social media and where things are. But it's a testament to people that just kind of grind and have a 10-year window to get something that even some people will get in 6 months.
Right.
You know, it was frustrating for me to watch somebody would have one viral video and then now they got to deal with like Kit Kat or Snickers. It's like, oh, because they did one video with it.
Right.
I have 100 videos, well over the amount of views that video has yet. But it's not about that. I've learned to know that everything happens when it's supposed to.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's bothered you for a while. That bothered you sometimes for a while. And I think it got you down a little bit, but it also motivated you. Because you're the type of person, you're not going to quit when you got your mind on something.
Yeah.
And you kept pushing. You said, you know what? My time is not now for that. And it will come.
Yeah. But that comes with being alone and growing.
And being okay with it.
And maturing. You know what I mean? I when I started this thing, probably like in...
I got it.
What happened? Did it fall?
No, we're just making sure. We're good.
Sorry about that. We don't trust technology for shit after this process.
But when I started this whole thing, it was all for the wrong reasons, right? Like, I wanted to make people laugh because I wanted to get girls. You know what I mean? I wanted to be the guy.
Is that a wrong reason for you at the time? Probably not.
No, I mean, that's why I wanted to do it. I mean, I didn't think I was going to be where I am now with it. You know, I thought I was...
On the number one podcast in the world.
On the number one podcast in the world. Shout out to Dr. Williams. You want the attention and you want the notoriety. I used to love going out in Schenectady, New York, and people being like, dude, you're the guy from the thing, right? Who cares?
One time, I got to put you on blast real quick. One time you called me, you said, let's go out and have a drink. And I said, yeah, no problem. Let's go. We'll go out to Schenectady. He's like, yeah.
I don't know where this story is.
I know you don't. And it's a quick little story, but you just said something. And this is when you started to feel that was I was like, all right, I'm kind of iffy on going out at the time. And you're like, come on, dude, I just want to go out. I'm in town. I just want to show face a little bit. And I'm like, okay, Leonardo DiCaprio, show face. Okay? Show face. This was his first 20,000 view video.
Was I living here? Was I home?
I think so. Yeah.
Like, I wasn't in Cincinnati yet?
Yeah.
I wasn't, okay.
Cool thing about that, and I don't know why, this is why I remember it. That night, we actually went out. You got to show face, and that's when I met Allie, my wife. Shout out my wife over there. That was the night.
Oh, but you knew.
Yeah,
Just
we went out with Jeff
but...
that night.
Yeah,
remember you came to the apartment? Yep. So that's it meant for a reason. But I remember when you said show face. Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
But I remember when you said show face. I was like, dude, relax, okay? You hit 2,000 followers last week.
That's what it was about, and it was obvious why things didn't take off the way they were taking off now. Because now when I create something, like when I make I just come up with an idea and I film it and then I edit it and I go through that process. I love that.
You do.
Like when I'm able to cut something up and piece like this video with this video, put it together, like there's a real energy from it. And I understand when people are like, oh, you are in the place you need to be when you're in that flow state, and the energy just comes naturally. Like, that's how I feel when I have an idea and I'm like, this could be funny, and then I just go and I turn my camera on and I just talk shit. You know what I mean? And I just piece it together. I love that process. So now it's away from like, this may be a viral video to what? No, I just love the process, and wherever it goes, I don't give a shit. I've kind of detached myself from outcomes and expectations, and just kind of like I'm doing the things because I love to do it. You know what I mean? And I own a business, so it's not like I'm moving to LA and I'm gonna be I'm washing dishes on the hopes of getting stage time. Like I own a legit business, but the cool thing is I'm able to do the videos and put them into the business. Yeah. So it goes hand in hand, which I am where I'm supposed to be. I feel that I know I say I don't want to live there and I don't, but like right now it'll be cool because I know 5 years, 10 years down the line, whether I'm there or not, to be able to work with my parents is something that I will be able to take with for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So it is pretty cool, and I don't take it for granted.
That's a great mindset to have too, because you grinded it out for so long.
Yeah. And there were some dark days.
There was a lot of tears.
There was some. We don't got to keep saying I was crying, but we can. I don't know why. I don't know. Is this my camera?
It's important.
I'm a grown man. I just want your viewers to know, because I don't want the comment section to be like, this kid's a pussy.
No, I think it's okay to cry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dressing like that, you probably would assume.
Oh, dude, come on, man. Come on.
Attack.
Damn, I'm sorry. We'll stop. It's
okay,
so
I
easy.
do want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the first video you made that went viral? Like what the video was, and then also like, are you checking? Like, just explain the day for you, like around that.
So the funny thing is, Ant was the first one. So it was like January 2020. So right before the pandemic, Ant was like, hey man, you gotta download this thing called TikTok. And at that point in time, it was like a kid's like dancing app. You know what I mean? So I looked at him. I'm like, you want me to go to jail? Like, what? I was like, dude, you want? He was like, no, dude, like you do your rants and your skits. Like, this would be perfect. I'm like, I don't know if you're on the same app that I just witnessed, but there's kids. It's like 9-year-olds doing like the Macarena or something. I can't be doing that. And he was like, no, dude, I'm telling you. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So at that point in time, I wanted to build my own podcast. So I was like doing my own stuff. And he said, dude, you could do it, put your clips of the podcast. So that was the only reason why I was doing it. I had no vision of doing what I'm doing now, but it was like March, and I think the pandemic hit. My mom actually was like, you got to download this app. Like, you can really do it. So I did it, and so I put the podcast clips on. It didn't do shit. So then I'm like, let me just be like, I'm just going to create some stupid shit. So the first one I did, the first video, like original video I did that wasn't a podcast clip was, I was like 10-year-olds now versus when I was 10. And like, I showed like a scene of a 10-year-old with like a headset on. Yeah, like with an iPad yelling at his mom because kids today are disrespectful.
Yeah.
And it was something silly like that, and then it flashed to like when I was 10. It was just me outside by myself playing with a stick, and like playing by myself. And it was a quick, I think it was like a 15-second video. I posted it.
It was hilarious, by the way.
And it was crazy, man. That was the first
that's one of my
video.
favorites still
it was
to
the
this
first
day.
video.
Yeah.
And I took a shower, and it was like the next morning I woke up and my mom was like, the video's at 300,000 views. I'm like, what? She was like, it's at 300,000 views. And I looked at it, and I think I got like 2,000, 3,000 followers. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I think I'm famous.
He called me. He's like, we did it.
I
we
was
did
like,
it.
dude, I think the kid's gonna be on Ellen. You're like, can you stop saying that? Like,
Jesus.
Jesus. I'm gonna get interviewed for this video.
Yeah, this is it.
And then it hit 1 million, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. So then I just started doing silly videos like that. And just anything, it was the pandemic, so nobody was doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just creating different things, and what I realized was that things that are more relatable were the ones that kind of took off.
Yeah.
And, not everyone knows what it's like to have money. Not everyone knows what it's like to grow up in a certain culture or whatever the case is, but everyone knows what it's like when they were 10. Or everyone knows what it was like when you were in 3rd grade, or some of the feelings you had. Just kind of bringing those things out was something that I kind of uncovered, and being me about it and being funny and telling stories, I think was something that hit a lot of people, and I think that's why a lot of it took off. But it doesn't work if I'm not who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And people, like, you watch a video that I do, it's very high energy, and obviously I'm not like that right now. I'm not like that every day. I mean, I'd have to be a psychopath, but that's how I am just on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I want to bring the energy because I want you to have a good time, and I want you to have a good time, and I want everyone who's ever around me.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to wanting to help people. I want everyone to be their best self, and if I can help that in any way, whether that's making them laugh or giving them advice, that's kind of where a lot of that originated.
What helped your content too is like you just love the process, like you said. You love just filming. You weren't too much on the numbers, right? Maybe chased a little bit after that first million, but like you were just like, this is my content. I know it's good. I like it, and you stuck to it. So it helped you just keep going through that.
Yeah, I but also that took a while to get to.
It did take a while.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, everyone wants everything to happen now.
Mm-hmm.
And what people realize is, you may see somebody that's doing well, but you didn't see, like we like to talk about, the 10,000 hours they put in before that.
Always.
And even people that see me, like they're like, hey man, I just started following you this year. And it's like, you appreciate it. They'll tell me what content they like, and I love that.
Yeah.
But they didn't see the dog shit content I put out when I was 21 years old. And there's been an evolution of where I was to where I am now. And there will be another one to where I am now and where I am 10 years from now.
Right.
Like, I'm sure when I'm in, like, 10 years from now, I'm like, dude, that was funny, or that was...
Yeah.
You just adapt. And if you're not adapting, you're not growing. If you're not growing, what the fuck are you doing?
And that's any business, anything. You have to stay with times.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm excited for like where it can take me, but I let go of where I'm gonna be, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Like I always used to be like, where am I gonna be? How much money am I gonna make? Am I gonna be living? Or am I gonna be like an actor? Or like where am I gonna? Who fucking cares, dude? Just do the thing.
It'll happen.
Live your life, do the thing. And wherever that takes you, that's where you were meant to go. And I know I'm getting a little woo-woo with this, but like, that's when you worry about too much of all of that and where things go, you kind of get caught up in that, and you forget that one thing that you love to do, you're doing it as a job.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking one time, and it's when you became okay with the process and what you were doing, and you weren't chasing this dream. Mm-hmm. You were just like, I'm just going to keep plugging away at doing what I love. Yeah. And whatever that next step is, whenever it is, it'll be here. I'm not gonna say, dude, I gotta live in LA next year. Or I gotta be here this time. Like you're like, it's gonna happen. If I'm gonna keep doing it, it's going to keep happening. It's gonna happen.
And I mean, even as recently as, when was it? A couple months ago, I was dead set. I'm going to Boston.
Yeah.
Like, that's the next move. It's gonna happen for me. And I went out there and I heard a bunch of no's, and I was like, nah, we're not. You're not what we're looking for.
Yep.
A lot of the times I didn't even get either a call back or nobody even wrote back to me.
When you say this, not to cut you off, but what are you talking about? Because, like, obviously I don't know if obviously Anthony probably knows. Like, stand-up shows, or like
Both.
what are you getting no's for? What are you?
I essentially got like laughed out of the building when I went to and I won't name the club, but I went to a club and I met a comedy club in Boston, and I was like, hey, like, I didn't even want to get into who I was because nobody gives a shit, honestly. Like, just what do you want?
Yeah.
You know, and I asked him, like, how do you get stage time? And he was like, I don't know you. He's like, so when I know you, you can get stage time. And I was like, yeah, but, like, there's got to be, you know, you got open mics. And he was like, not for people that I don't know. And I was like, okay. And then I turned, and as I was walking away, he was like, yeah, but they are teaching comedy classes. And I turned back, and I was like, I don't need to be taught how to do comedy. And I feel like if you need to be taught how to do comedy, you probably shouldn't be doing comedy.
Yep.
And I kind of left that place like, what the hell? And I loved the gym. So I come from the gym business, so I was trying to get a job. I was like, I'll get a job, and then I'll just go do the shit on my own. And then I go and I would sit down with someone, and they're like, well, you know, you're not what we're looking for. And I'm like, how am I not what you're looking like? You. And I would sit there, and I would either call him or I'd call my mom, and I would complain, and I'd be like, what is it that you're looking for? If it's not me, like, this shit needs to happen. Like, I can't go back to Vermont and do the same shit that I've been doing.
Because you know you can do it.
Yeah, I was like month after month after month, and I'm like, there needs to be a break. Like, I need to catch a break, and that's the wrong mentality. Yeah. Like, if you sit there and you're like, why am I not catching a break with this shit?
You're feeling sorry for yourself.
You're feeling sorry. So I went back to Vermont, and as much as I wanted to be in Boston or somewhere else, I was like, okay. The reality of the situation is nobody wants you. You can make up excuses and you can say, all right, they didn't want me because of this, this, and that. No, they just didn't want you because you're either not good enough or they don't know you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So make them know you. Mm-hmm. And the way for me to do that was to just build myself in Vermont. Mm-hmm. You know, if I can do the things I want to do in the area that I currently am, why would I need to go spend thousands of dollars in a place that there isn't a... Yeah. It's not a definite. You know, and now you're broke, maybe living out of your car, which is what I thought about doing. I'm like, I'll just fuck it. I'll go do it. I don't care. Like, it's how bad I want this thing. Or you go and you create your own shit where you are, and that's what led to the stand-up show and everything that's happening now. You know, and it's consistently staying out of that victim mentality that everyone else is the problem except for you. You know, when you fix that, and you just there's always a solution, and it's the people that are like, there isn't, who are the problem. Yeah. You know.
Now you gave a good plug about Vermont. Mm-hmm. Right, and we haven't really talked about that. You have a big following in Vermont for a lot of the things you've done for your business and your social media journey. Yeah. So dial us back into you going out to Vermont, probably co-owning with probably the toughest partners you can, which are your parents, right? Like that's tough for most people. And then building the brand in Vermont, that's essentially opening new doors, which we'll end with, which is pretty exciting. You know, how did that start? How did that go? What was the process?
The process was I was broke and depressed. I think that's where the process started. And I got to a point when I was in Cincinnati where it was dark because I allowed it to be dark. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like I didn't do anything about it. I just thought somebody was going to save me. I thought that if I continue to create content, that somebody was going to see me and they were going to save me from my little dark little room that I consistently stayed in. And again, right after your bachelor party, I came back to like this empty room, my apartment that I was living by myself, downtown Cincinnati, and it was just bad. I just started crying for no reason. I know we're getting back to the crying shit, but
you said it.
Yeah, not us. We didn't bring it up.
I texted my dad. What did I texted? I put him and my mom in a group chat, and I told them that I needed help. And it was almost like they were waiting for that text, because when I shot it to them, in my relationship with my parents, like we're like best friends. I mean, I've been with them, literally since 1991.
Yeah.
You know, yes, I've moved away, but I talked to them every day when I wasn't with them, and I was with them in Cincinnati. So we've had like very similar journeys.
Yeah.
You know, and my mom was like, "We're so glad we got this text, because we want you to be a part of this." And immediately it was no. Like my mind, I didn't say it, but immediately it was no, because I didn't want to. I was currently in a relationship that we both knew it was over, but I was staying in it because it was a comfortable one, and it was something that I knew for so long.
Right.
You know, and that in and of itself was a bad reason to stay in Cincinnati. I probably should have left months and months before that, but I stayed for that, because I just when I'm in something, I don't care who you are. If you are a friend, if you're my girlfriend, if you're my business partner, if you want me to do a podcast, and you want me to be a part of it, first off, I'm grateful. Secondly, you're gonna get 100% of me. So when those things wouldn't work out, whether it was a relationship, whether it was a job, or whether it was someone telling me no, I would take it so personal. Mm-hmm. And I would be like, I think in my mind I would say, oh, so I'm not good enough. What do I got to do? And that would explain that relationship. What do I got to do? Mm-hmm. How do I know I can do this thing. How do I stay? But you come to a point where it's like, and I even said this to you, I can't remember who said it. I think it was Tyler Perry's, that like, not people come into your life for seasons. Not everybody's meant for always. Mm-hmm. And that goes with people, jobs, and opportunity. You know, and he was like, other people or things come into your life like boosters for a rocket. You ever watch a rocket take off, you know the boosters fall off when that rocket hits a certain altitude. Those aren't bad people. Don't be upset that the boosters fell off. They just couldn't go where you're going. Mm-hmm. So once I had that mindset, it was like, dude, detach, go to Vermont. Yeah, it's not where you want to be, man. It isn't. Let's be honest, it's not. But it's a great opportunity to be 30 years old and own a business. And also, it's another opportunity to make it what you want it to be. Yeah. And so, when I got there, there was like a week, if you remember, there was a week of like, dude, this place sucks, man. Hey, I've seen one girl this entire week, and I remember even you were like, dude, that's not why you're there. Mm-hmm. Like you, and I remember you go, dude, look at the shirt you're wearing. That's your name on that shirt that you're wearing. Take pride in that and focus on the business. Focus on the things that you want to do for you, not for a girl or for a place or to prove somebody wrong. You're where you are for you. Focus on that. And so that's when I started doing the walks and mm-hmm. reading and things like that. And it slowly, very slowly got to like me getting out of that mindset. And then I remember saying to my dad, I'm like, would it be okay if I create videos for the store? He's like, I don't care what you do. He's like, that's who you are. He's like, inject whatever you are into the store. Just make me money. And he goes to my dad, just make me
Shout
money.
Out Claude, it's all he cares about.
Hey, just make me money. So I did one video, and the people there, I'm so different there, where it's just they for whatever reason they love it, you know, and nobody's doing comedy does not happen in Vermont, okay? So for me to be out there doing it, it's something different, it's new, it's exciting, and I was like, oh, okay, that's the thing. So I can do this, inject it into the business. Then people were starting to come into the store, like, hey, I saw the Facebook thing you did for the store, that was hilarious. I want to check the store out. Yep. I'm like, oh, I can now parlay the thing I love to do into actual business, and then continue to build. And that was really because I stopped doing TikTok for like, what was it, like a year maybe?
A while. Maybe not a year, but pretty close.
7 months.
Yeah,
because it was like, dude, I'm a business owner now. I want to start doing business things. And ironically, doing the videos for my business led me to doing the videos for myself. And when the business videos and the popularity for me rose, so did the personal stuff. So it's almost like, whatever you want to call it, God or the universe is like, you're not going to go wherever you think you're going to go until you're okay with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I got to that place mentally where I was like, oh, okay, so now I'm starting to think clearly, I'm starting to see things better, it was like, oh shit, that went off. They want you to do this. You're getting contacted from a potential deal with doing partnerships here. And that only happened because I went to Vermont, ironically, and I detached from all the other things.
And well, like we just circle back to it, you found yourself in that process. Yeah. You know, the boy was back. I think, as you said. Yeah. And then you got back on a TikTok.
And there's no better. And I said this to my sister before I left. I was like, confidence is everything. I know that's not a profound statement that I just made up. That's well known, but people are attracted to confidence. If you are not confident in who you are, who the fuck do you think's gonna follow you?
Right.
Who's gonna want to be around you? So getting to that point, and I'm never more confident than when I put something out that I'm like, that's great. Whether it's for the business or for me, I'm like, that's great. I know that's fire. Whether detaching yourself from the outcomes of it, whether that goes viral, I know I did it. I did the thing, and I think people like to be around that, and I want to be around people like that as well. And if I can continue to do that, that's all I can ask for. And that's really what led to the stand-up show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was confident in who I was and what I can do, and I just went around to people, and I was like, would you do a comedy show? I go to restaurants. The fuck do I care? Then the answer is always going to be no until you ask.
Right.
And I've been told no so many times where it's like, all right, it's another fucking no. And that's the thing, the no's will always come, they'll never disappear. I can be Brad Pitt, you're still going to get no's a couple times. Being comfortable with getting no is where you want to be, and that's where I was. And then I went to one pub, and I asked the owner, I was like, would you, and she said, absolutely. For you, yeah. She's like, let's do it. And I was like, oh shit. So then I got home, and I was like, oh fuck. Like she was like, no, she messaged me the next day. Shout out to Whitney. She was like, I am so excited to talk to you about this. Let's get it going. And I was like, I don't even have no material. I have nothing. Everyone was saying no. I was just so used to it. She's like, I want to do it. So I scheduled a meeting with her, and we set a date, January 21st. And when I left, I was scared shitless, by the way. I was like, I don't even know who's going to want to come. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I didn't know how that was going to be. And she was like, Pete, trust me. Like, they love you here. They're going to come. And I was like, aww. Yeah, but...
Yeah. He's like an A-list celebrity in Vermont. You go places, they know him. They're people running out their houses to wave to him. He's a big deal out there. He's a big deal.
But so I said yes, and I was like, let me make a video. And I still have zero content. I have no material. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know how long I'm going to be up there. It's different to do a video and chop it up behind closed doors and put out the best stuff. You got to do this live now. So I said yes, and it was almost like it hit me. I went upstairs and I sat. I bought like a dry erase marker like that, or a board like that. And
that's a TV, dude.
No, like the size. I meant the size.
Oh
the size.
Okay.
The size of that.
I was like, what's he talking about?
I bought it. The size. It's literally the size of that in my room.
Okay.
And I just started writing, and I was like, "Ooh, that's funny," and then that led to that. And when I knew I had something, I was like, "All right, I'm gonna do a video." And she's like, "We'll sell tickets through the restaurant." And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "What do you like? How much money do you want?" I was like, "First off, like it was just even weird for me to set a price to who I was. I was like, I want it to be cheap, and I'm not gonna take the money. I want all the proceeds to go to charity." She's like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, you're going to host your own event and then you want to go. She's like, I love it. So you just going to do this for free? And I was like, yeah. Because, again, I didn't know who...
It helps sell tickets, too,
So I put out a video, and she texted me like an hour after, and she's like, I just want to let you know you're halfway sold out of the entire venue. And I was like, are you serious? She's like, yeah. Like
in like 8-10 hours.
No, that was 1 hour, and then
halfway,
and then like in 8 hours it was completely sold out.
Oh my gosh!
And she called me and she was like, "Hey, like we're at capacity," and I had people texting me like, "Hey man, I can't wait to go to your show." I'm like, "Listen, if you don't buy a ticket, you ain't coming.
You're not going."
So I got her to extend it like 15 more tickets. And I was like, listen, extend it 15 more tickets. She extended it, and literally like, it was like 47 seconds. She's like, they're gone. So it was a completely sold out and then some venue. And then I was like, I really need to deliver. This is, I can't. So I was in my store like after out. Like I would work a full day, and then I would stay in the store for like 2-3 hours. And I would rehearse to myself. Sometimes I'd rehearse to my dog, and he's just like looking at me like,
feed me.
I want to go upstairs. I don't want to listen to your shit anymore. So it like I never knew how people were gonna take to it, and it went better than expected. It ended in a standing ovation, and that was like, that was a moment where I was like, I think this is what I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life. And when you came up, and said what you said, I was like, God damn. And then my brother, who isn't really an emotional guy, said mimicked the same thing. I was like, oh, so I really...
Yeah, you did.
I really did that.
You did awesome, man. I was surprised on how good it was. I mean, it was 10 out of 10. Like, there was... Because I'd be honest with you, if there was a joke or something...
I know you would. So
I'm your worst critic. Like,
that's why when you said, like, bro, you crushed that. And I was like, I did?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, dude, I wouldn't... You know I wouldn't. Because I know how you are.
Yeah. And I also know how you are. So when I was in the back, I was in a good spot to video.
And just hold on, just so people know, I'll post I'll create a video, and I'm like, this is fire. I'll send it to Ant. He'll text back, that's not it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm honest.
Delete it and start over.
I'm
because
honest.
That's not the one. And I'm like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
And I know he's true because he doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't bullshit.
Yeah.
But, go ahead.
I've been here for a while watching it.
Yeah.
But I remember when you got off. I mean, I knew you. First of all, I knew you always had it in you. I've been telling you this for years that you need to go do some type of stand up because I've seen it. I know you, but you didn't know yet. I think, and now you do. But I remember you got off the stage, and I was a little far from you. And I know you got off it, and you were like a lost puppy.
Yeah.
And no one came up to you right away because I don't know if you were the star or whatever, how it worked. And I'm looking, I'm like, he's shitting his pants right now.
Yeah,
because he thinks he flopped.
Yeah.
Right, like Claude. Right? Dude, you were 5 feet away from your son and you stayed in your seat, okay? What the fuck are you doing?
No.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This is my dad, okay? So we're big New York Giant football fans. And the Giants made it to the playoffs for the first time in years. They're playing Philadelphia, who, obviously is in the Super Bowl, but the game was on at the same time as my show.
No.
Yeah, it was an issue.
So I told Whitney, I was like, listen, turn the TVs off when I'm up on stage. I want as selfish as it sounds, comedy's different. It's like when you sing, I can hear you when I'm in the bathroom. I know that you're singing well. You have to pay attention to me because I tell stories and that's how I do comedy. So I'm like, I don't want nobody, including my family, looking at the TVs. So when I finished, like you said, I was just kind of standing on stage alone. I know I got a standing ovation, so I was like, I know I did well. Aunt comes up and my dad comes up to me, and I'm expecting him to be like, "Hey man, I'm proud of you." My dad comes up and goes, "They're fucking down 21-0." He goes, "Don't even bother looking at the score." I'm like,
"Yeah,
did I do okay?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No." He's like, "Did
you.
Great, man." But the fucking Daniel Jones not playing. I'm like, I don't care about Daniel Jones right now.
And that's why I ran right up and I was just like, "Dude, that was amazing. You crushed it. 12 out of 10." I was like, I gave him a hug and he popped up. He's like, "Really?" Yeah. He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "No, like really."
Yeah, that was cool.
And he was like, the second he said it, I saw your eyes, your face, the smile came up, and you had this like confidence now going to talk to everybody after. Yeah. And it was awesome. I mean, go look at his clips. He's got them on all his social medias. I'm sure more to come, but he Yeah, man, you were thriving, and that was good to me because I've been here for that whole journey, those phone calls and everything like that.
It was cool.
And before the show, I felt like it was my show almost. Like I was
Yeah.
excited to see what would come because this was the first time in your whole entire life you did not tell me the material that you were putting out.
That's true.
You didn't tell me one joke, and I didn't want to know it. Even though I had an idea where it was going just from all the talks we had. So I was excited. I felt like it was my own show. I was proud of you, man. That you did great. I'm excited to see what you have in store.
Let it rip up there. I was saying.
That's it.
I said some stuff too.
You said some stuff. You told the crowd.
And I didn't even care about it.
Told the crowd some things.
I did.
In front of your parents.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was something. But it was definitely something that I'll always. But those are the things that I have to do. You know what I mean? Because if I want to go to where I want to be, it's on me. Like I have to go do those things on my own because nobody's gonna do them for me.
Mm-hmm.
Nor are they gonna let me in anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so if I continue to build myself in that area, like I have it, I have that area. So go do it in that area and allow that to carry you to the next thing, and that's the only thing I can control.
Yeah.
You know, all that other shit is just noise. You know.
So true. Are you guys ready to get into
our
our
is this the fun
next
stuff?
I think it's time.
segment?
Yes.
I think it's time.
All right, everyone. Well, it's now time to spill the real tea. I'll hit it off with the first question while you pull up the other ones, but I've got one right off the top of my head, and I'm excited to hear your
So
answer.
are these like
We'll get into it.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
so because you didn't listen to our first podcast,
if
we'll
you
explain
listened.
to you.
You did it in the intro. The intro video?
No, we said we asked each other. So there's 3 questions that we ask every single guest at the end of the episode, which you didn't listen.
To be honest,
but we asked them to each other.
Yeah, it's literally all we did in the episode. Is really ask these questions. So like, if you went 5 minutes into the episode, you would have known what we did.
I mean, we don't need to you know.
Cool.
I'm gonna listen.
This one.
I spark noted it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this shit looks dope. I'm gonna be on it.
All right, just save yourself. Okay, what is the hardest part of your job?
Working with my dad.
You want to elaborate or no?
Can we beat that out? No. No, I love you, Dad. No, we're two guys that get after it. So when things get a little hectic, he'll raise his octave a couple notes. I'll raise mine. But no, he's a business guy, and things need to go his way. And I'm a guy that I'm like, hey, we're good. You know what I mean? He's here, I'm here. But I would say the tough thing is probably that. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys.
But I mean that, Dad. I mean that in a good way. Okay.
And although
it's like a good challenge.
Yeah.
And although he says in a good way every time I'm on the phone, he's bitching about you. So.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna beat that out.
It's true.
Cut the clip.
Okay.
Cut the clip.
I cut the.
Okay.
What is one thing though you would tell your younger self, where you are now?
This too shall pass.
I love that.
Wow. Are you sure you didn't listen to the episode? Because that was quick and very good.
No.
Yeah.
He said he's been waiting for this moment.
That's a moment I've thought somebody would ask.
That's amazing.
Because either way, you know what I mean.
So simple.
It's not good. What you're worried about right now, it won't matter.
Yeah.
And if you get to a point where you feel like you're the man, it's not gonna last. So like if you're sad, hey, this too shall pass. Or if you're really like I'm the man, this too shall pass. So either way, just stay even keeled.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And
it's like the not too high, not too low.
That's one of my. It actually reminds me of one of my favorite quotes, and I actually kind of feel like I said this the last time we were together. Is in the end, everything will be okay, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. I just love
like
that.
That's a great quote.
Because it's like I don't know. There's so many times where, even like for me, like when I bought my house, like I felt like every month I'm getting hit with something new, and I'm like, oh my god, and I'm like, it's not the end because it's not okay. It's gonna be okay.
And that's, but that also is like that ties into, like for me, I always when things wouldn't work out, I would literally take it so personal, and I would let it beat me up, and it did. Like it would certain things that happened to me, I would let linger in my life, and that would carry over and affect somewhere else. Whereas now I look back, I'm like, that's what you were upset about that?
Right.
That took you off?
Yeah.
And you didn't do this because of that? It's like, dude, fucking, if it's not meant for you, you're going to know it's not meant for you. Get over it and move on.
Yeah.
So those are things that I would absolutely tell.
I was just picturing Riley when she said that quote, and that's how you take things. That you were telling yourself that when you were crawling in your crawl space in your basement, thawing out your frozen pipes with your blow dryer. Were you still that confident about that?
I was being a bitch.
Yeah.
Carter will tell you that, and I apologized after. I was not in a good place. I was like, this can't be happening right now. And if you saw the crawl space, it's like crushed cinder blocks.
Ooh.
And it was when it was like 0 degrees.
Why wasn't Carter in there?
Yeah, Carter, get your ass in the basement,
wait,
bro.
Carter, I don't know you. I'm sure you're a fabulous guy. What the fuck are you doing letting her get into that crawl space?
No, you know
we'll
what?
Talk about that after
I was like, I just have
to. Can we get him in here right now?
It's the first thing I'm gonna ask him when I meet him.
No, I was like, I just have to go do this right now. I'm like, stand up here and keep turning the tap water, blah, blah, blah. And
so he was on faucet duty?
He was on faucet duty.
This is what he did?
Yeah. Yes.
He's probably...
I think I also knew I was being like such a bitch though,
that
I was like,
I
need to go down. Like, I can't be a bitch and make him go down there and do this.
True,
like, I gotta pick one, I'm not.
Is it true?
Anyways, all right. So you can kind of do with this question whatever you want. You can talk more on the side of like TikTok or owning the business with your parents. When you started your business, was there one thing that happened that you weren't anticipating? Like that either has happened or
a roadblock.
Yeah.
I didn't anticipate the social media stuff, which has helped the business.
You mean like
I didn't anticipate them enjoying the videos. They thought I was gonna be a psychopath. But it's really become a part of the business. I think that in itself is something I never would have anticipated. And the other side of it, my personal social media has helped the business because people will come in because everything I shoot is in the business. So that's something that I definitely didn't because I was done with the videos. Yeah. I even told you, I'm like, it's not meant for me. Like, this is, if it was going to work, it would have worked by now, and it hasn't. So I completely got rid of that. And so yeah, if there's one thing, it's probably that, because everything else is Vermont. It's the same shit. I meet the same people.
Right.
And
That's
now
interesting.
maybe something comes this summer. Who knows? I've met one girl that I actually, I really liked it. So,
dude, you're probably not gonna come. I'm sorry. It's a great place, but I'm sorry. Don't get your hopes up. We talk about this all the time.
What?
Yeah, don't get your hopes up that a girl's gonna come in and sweep you off your feet in the snow.
Well,
so,
I mean,
you never know. Never say never.
He actually almost did have a successful story, but let's just keep it moving here. Because you just got your heart broken. That's how that
kind of leads us right into the next question.
Into the next question. It's the next question.
Leads us right into the next one.
Oh yes. All right. How many dating sites have you been on?
0.
Put your email into
0.
Swipe left, right, up, down.
You mean to tell me you haven't downloaded a single dating?
No, I have. I'm not on them now.
Oh.
That's not what I'm asking.
Oh, okay.
We didn't say actively on.
Like, okay, you see him settle in. Yeah.
And which one's the best? I don't think I ever really had a dating.
Are you asking him his success rate?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had zero success with any of the dates. I've maybe been on from Hinge 3 dates.
Okay.
That's it.
Can you answer the question? How many?
What was
How many? You been on Tinder?
Tinder before? Was college. I haven't been on Tinder.
So that's a yes?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we're looking for. What's the other one?
Probably Tinder,
Bumble?
Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge.
The 3? So 3.
Yeah.
And you said, he said none. Funny how he
Well, no, I don't use them currently.
Right.
I don't. I swear to God, on my grandmother.
Ready?
I don't.
If you could have dinner with one famous person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Yeah, I had a hard one with that.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I can go so many different ways with this, and I'm not thinking right now. I'm just
like this. This is how we figured it out with her. I asked her this on the last episode. Give us 3 right now and narrow it down. Okay. Like there's got to be someone you think of.
Whoever's coming to your mind.
Yeah.
Rattle them off.
I don't know why, but Jennifer Lopez, it just keeps popping in my mind.
Okay, yeah, so put her on the list.
I know there's a more serious answer that I can't find right now. It's just women.
We were on the dating sites, really shook them up.
Yeah. You really kind of got me out of it.
Like any pro athletes you like, any comedians you like.
Okay.
I figured one is a layup for you.
Okay.
We got him off the women.
Okay.
I
got it. Derek Jeter, Kevin Hart.
Yeah. All right, that's 2.
So now pick out of the 3.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah?
No.
Guy, get it
Kevin
together,
Hart,
man.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So that might be the answer to the next question. Who's your favorite comedian?
There's layers to that.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Hart is the first one that, again, Ant showed me that I realized that comedy wasn't just about writing jokes. Like jokes like Jerry Seinfeld. And Jerry's like one of the GOATs, but he's just not my brand. Kevin Hart was telling personal stories about his life, and I'm like, ooh, that's how I would be. If I was ever a comedian, that's what the kind of comedian I would love to be. I would say like Kevin Hart, Bill Burr. There's just so many right now.
Sebastian, I know you're a
Sebastian.
big fan of.
I like Sebastian. There's
his Netflix. The one that just came out is so funny.
There's a ton, but I think you probably put Kevin Hart up there.
I mean, he started it for you. I mean, in our generation growing up, he had the Seriously Funny and like the prime of you getting into comedy. That's like the first one you'd watch and study.
Yep.
I'll hit these 2. You want to do this one?
Yep.
All right. So these 2 are just quick, basic, rapid questions. Tacos or burritos?
Tacos.
Okay, you throwing
hard shell or soft?
Would you movies? I mean, that's an important question. If someone picks tacos, like hard shell is a power move, really.
Yeah, I'm a hard shell girly.
Hard shell is just messy. It's like all over the place.
That's fine. You know
what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's no right or wrong answer. Right. I'm just saying soft tacos.
Movies or TV series?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's. I don't know, man, because it's literally split down the middle. There's been great TV series, and there's also been movies that have inspired me. I guess right now, TV series.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
I think that's going to be a more common answer.
Yeah, I think movies. TV series is
I just can't think of a single movie that's been released lately. Like, I don't want to go to the theater.
That's the thing.
But they don't even have them in theaters half the time.
I love going to the movies. I haven't been to the movies in a while. I used to love going to the movies, just into the theater. But I think right now it's the TV series move. You know, there's just so many good series.
Yeah, and she made it. She said on the last one, you can rip a couple episodes on a Sunday, take a break. The episode always leaves you hanging at the end. A movie, it's just, you're gonna have 2.5 hours. The story start, end, and that's it. I'm a big movie guy, to be honest with you, but
series are from I don't have the bandwidth. I can't. It's just
for a series.
For a movie.
Oh, for a movie.
Oh my god. And then if it's bad, like at least if I watch 2 episodes of a series and I'm like, this isn't it, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas if I sit and watch a 2.5 hour movie and it's trash, I'm like,
yeah, but that's the problem, Riley. Like, if you know it's you're not gonna watch a movie 2.5 hours in. You're like, that movie's trash. You're gonna know within the first 20 minutes.
But the ending could suck.
Yeah, but the ending could be so bad. Like, did you watch The Menu?
A lot of ways.
I was gonna watch The Menu. It looked weird, and that's not really my genre. But I was going to watch it. But it gave me that like feeling where I was gonna be left with, the fuck did I just watch?
Literally,
Is that what it was?
I said to Carter, "What the fuck was that?" I'm like, I don't even. What did we just watch?
There's been so many movies I've watched.
I actually didn't think it was that bad. The ending, I didn't understand. Maybe I'm just dumb. Which I'm not.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about, so I haven't even.
But go ahead.
Are you ready for our last question?
Last question.
Okay, so we gotta do this because we gotta plug the general store. Fuck, marry, kill, Robo sandwiches.
Oh. Okay, we did this one last time.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see if you change your answer.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Definitely killing tuna. That's only because I hate mayonnaise. So, I would.
Oh my god.
What?
No. I don't know why. I
Keep
thought you were
going.
gonna say obviously because I hate tuna, but you're like obviously
I
because
hate
No, I
I
like
hate
tuna.
mayonnaise.
I like tuna. I'll eat tuna out of the package. I hate mayonnaise. And my dad. It's great from what I've heard.
Okay.
It's great from
All
what
right,
I've heard.
all right, marry and kill.
It's
Or
weird.
you
So we're
kill
talking
them.
about sandwiches.
You have to fuck one.
And now I'm envisioning actually fucking a sandwich.
Oh my
which
God,
is weird.
Anthony, don't do that. Just
This is how you worded the questions. Probably marry the Robo and then fuck the Godfather.
Yeah. What's in them?
The Robo's
Plug it.
roast beef. It's roast beef.
with. Do you want to tell us
Just
about
straight
the
roast
mayonnaise
beef, bro.
on
Plug
it?
the store.
Guys,
Claude is pissed right now.
Okay, guys, the Robo is cheddar cheese, filet roast beef from Boar's Head. Shout out to Boar's Head. Tomatoes, onions, and it comes with horseradish mayo, but I'll put
You
Italian dressing.
have to put
No,
horseradish
the
mayo.
horseradish.
Are you kidding me? This mayo guy.
Yeah, I don't
Jesus.
do that. I don't do
that.
Unbelievable. He's been doing this his whole
And the
life.
Godfathers are Italian mix.
How do you feel about an aioli?
No. It's
Okay.
got mayonnaise in it.
Well, I didn't know. Some people are weird.
I've actually thrown mayonnaise in food for him before, and he said he didn't like it.
No, it wasn't mayonnaise. You tricked me with blue cheese. I remember that. I remember the day because it's scarred in my brain.
Oh my God.
The guy. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Williams and the Williams Center for allowing us to use this lovely conference room. Episodes right now, we have them dropping on the first Thursday of the month. We might be, we're going to see if we can handle every other Thursday,
Yeah.
which I think we'll be able to. But you can find this podcast pretty much anywhere podcasts can be found. And you can watch the video on YouTube.
Yeah. Spilling the real tea. Ant, real quick, let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, TikTok at AntRobo10. My store is at Robo's Creamies on Instagram, and then we're on Facebook as well. So check us out. Appreciate you guys for having me.
Thanks
I had
for coming.
a blast.
Yeah. So it's another episode of Spilling the Real Tea. I'm Anthony,
I'm Riley.
and this is Spilling the Real Tea.
Bye, guys.